Hey guys, I'm Keith Combs and I want to spend a few minutes talking about my basic crankbait setup. It's a 7'2" Shimano Zodius medium heavy glass rod, and this is a Curado 200 Series K reel. I also use a Curado DC a lot. Either one of those reels are what I would consider all-purpose, but the 150, the DC, really shines with your lighter baits. So if I'm going to throw like a little flat-sided crankbait or maybe a 1.0, a 1/4 ounce lipless, something like that, that's when that DC really shines. I wouldn't say that it casts any different than the K, but you can cast into the wind. So I mean, if I want to be able to cast a crankbait on any angle, any cast, into the wind, with the wind, whatever, that's when the DC really shines. This basic setup right here covers me for, man, a variety of cranking. Everything from my lipless stuff all the way, through the square bill family, all the way through my deep divers. And once I get into the real big stuff like your 10XDs and baits like that, I'll step it up to a 7'6" Zodius cranking rod. But some of the reasons why I've really settled on this type of equipment, castability and just keeping fish buttoned up. Castability is important, anytime you're cranking, because even if you're just making short little chip shots around a dock, you need a rod that does the work for you. So glass rod is a little bit more conducive for that. It loads well on the backcast, and it'll help you just kind of fire your bait on a short cast. On a bomb cast, same deal. When you go back, that rod loads up, and you can throw that crankbait a mile. So that's one of the aspects of glass that I think is a little better for cranking. The other thing is just keeping a fish buttoned up. So I'm looking for a rod that is even on its flex load, so down low you still have some give. Midsection, you still have some give. The reason I want flex throughout the rod is, when a fish is jumping, that's when you're more apt to lose one on a crankbait than any other time. So I'm looking for a rod that if I keep the line tight, keep a good tension, the rod does the work again for me, flexing and moving with that fish. So that's the reason for the glass rod. As far as getting into line and hooks and things like that, that's also important because, crankbait is a bait that it's easy to lose fish on. So I spool almost always with Seaguar and Vizex. This is 15 pound. That's my kind of go-to size. Sometimes I'll get as light as 12 and sometimes as heavy as 17. But that's my basic crankbait setup. If you're looking for, really an all-purpose type crankbait rod and reel, I promise you this will get it done. I use it all across the country for largemouth and smallmouth, and like I said, it covers a wide variety of different types of baits.